So today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to pick a card to talk about a theme because what I want to show is how powerful tarot can be when it's not used for prediction, but when it's just kind of used as a way of having a conversation, either with a tarot reader or with yourself. It's so interesting and it's so powerful, and that is what I want to share. So the first card I picked was the theme of today's video, which is the Nine of Cups. And this card is basically about feeling abundant, plenitude, finally feeling satisfied, as if things are finally coming together. It's actually a very peaceful card in this deck. And you see these 9 cups and the moon right at the top, which is this kind of like light, lines that are just very peaceful. And there's something very satisfying about it. This card is actually called the Wish card in tarot. And that actually brings me to this other idea that is also about kind of reconnecting to that fun wishing way of feeling about life, and kind of like more a playful childlike way of thinking about life. And I actually did a video on that you can see here. And it was just about talking about how, like, maybe as adults, we've kind of lost touch with our childlike way of thinking about wishing. And now it's almost like we feel like we have to work towards things, or we have to do something to be productive, or even today, like, it's almost like manifesting is the more adult way of wishing. But when we were little, wishing was just wishing. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't need to deserve it. We just were going to get a wish for no other reason than for being a human being. And that in itself is something that I am trying to reconnect with myself, just that more childlike kind of wonder and magic. But I think this card is also very linked to gratitude, because it is about that abundance and feeling abundant and feeling kind of like satisfied. And that is something that is linked to gratitude. And so with this in mind, I wanted to pick another card, which was, what is keeping us from maybe feeling this abundance, or feeling that magic, or feeling we can connect back to that wishes. And we got the 10 of Wands. And it's so interesting because already in itself, this card is so much more dark and heavy. And it just is like, it's almost like we see the light at the end of that on the other side, but we're kind of caught in this, like, these bristles, and it's like we can't even get to the light. And the 10 of Wands is exactly that. The 10 of Wands speaks about kind of caring too much, having too much of a burden. And also it talks about burnouts, being like almost overworked to a point that we're so concentrated maybe on our work or things like that we're not able to necessarily feel the abundance or the magic. So this is maybe what is keeping us from being able to access abundance, gratitude, and magic and wishing. But so the next card I picked was, well, what can we do about it? What can we actually do to reconnect with our abundance and get back to the 9 of Cups? And I got the 5 of Wands. And it's so interesting that we got the 10 of Wands and then the 5 of Wands. And what that tells me straight away is that one of the best ways to be able to get back in touch with our 9 of Cups is to simplify, get rid of things. Like, to me, like, the first image that came was like, let's like simplify our lives, like get rid of half the things in the card, because here's 10 wands and here there are only 5 of them. And so to me, it's already about, like, maybe getting rid of actual physical things, going through your house and getting rid of the things that you don't use anymore, or the things that you've outgrown, or that just don't bring you happiness anymore. I was watching something recently that was just talking about how the more things you own, the more you have ties that are coming, and kind of like, even if they're not things that you use or that even have very much value, but they still tie you down. And so the more you can get rid of them, the more you'll actually feel free and maybe lighter and more abundant. The other thing I'm getting from this card is that the 5 of Wands is also about kind of like being pulled in different directions, and having like maybe competing things. And what I'm getting, though, is that in a way, maybe another way we can reconnect to the 9 of Cups, reconnect to abundance and gratitude, is actually by diversifying what we're doing. Because it's true that as adults, we tend to always kind of like go down the same route and do the same thing that we do often, that we know works, right? And that has in itself is a pretty intelligent way of dealing with life. But I also think that this card is reminding us that in order to maybe have that awe and maybe more childlike way of looking at the world and things is to remember to keep trying different things, to keep diversifying, to put your energy not all in one basket. Because it's true that, when we were kids, we had a lot more kind of awe and admiration, and it was easier to find kind of like excitement in things because often it was new for us. It was something kind of exciting. Whenever you do something new, it's more exciting, and also it helps you be more present because you're actually paying attention. And so as an adult, I think this is actually a really good lesson, is that we can keep on trying new things. If somebody asks you to a class that you would usually say no to, go to it, try it out. Or, maybe it's going to a fair, or just trying different things out. And remember not to keep doing always the same things over and over again, and just to remember to have a little bit of variety in your day, but also your activities and your mind. So that's about it for this today's discussion. If you have any ideas or any things that you have found over the years that have helped you be able to be grateful or satisfied or content with what you are, reconnect with your magic of a kid who's able to wish, I'd love to hear. Please leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next video for our next topic on using tarot. Thanks so much for watching.